Leeds United have been on the wrong end of many a hijacked move, which is kind of bad. It feels rubbish, and losing out at the last minute to some higher bidders absolutely sucks. It leaves you without the player that you want, the player that you need, and it leaves you without progress. But doing it the other way round can be incredibly funny, as I think we're about to find out. Leeds United are set to hijack a major Sheffield United move, and it's one that Sheffield United really want, it's one that we really want, and it's one that is looking a little bit healthy in our direction right now. In this video, I'm going to run through what's happened, who exactly the player is, Chris Wilder's rising blood pressure, delicious, and what it ultimately means for Leeds United going through into this season. So, to start with, what exactly has happened? Word was earlier in the week, Sheffield United had wrapped up a deal with Harrison Burrows. They had effectively offered Peterborough enough cash. Peterborough said, yeah, go on then. They've accepted the offer. And apparently Burrows was in the process of having conversations with Sheffield United to get the move done. But since then, Peterborough's chair might have done a little appearance on TalkSport and might have discussed a little bit about various transfer moves that are going on, and he may have specifically implied that Leeds United had made a bid for Harrison Burrows, and he may have also implied that that move has slowed down quite a bit since the Sheffield United bid was accepted. In addition to that, he also implied that Peterborough have accepted both of the bids and other bids from across the Championship, and the move is now down to the player, and with things having ground to a halt, in my opinion, that tells us that we are very clearly a strong option for him. There's no way that you would be potentially going to Sheffield United, another bid comes in, and then if you're genuinely dedicated to that Sheffield United move, going, well, you see, I would, but I'm going to delay it a little bit. No, that delay tells me that there is potential for a Leeds United hijack, which would be absolutely fantastic, especially since I've looked in a little bit more detail at who exactly the player is. It is Harrison Burrows, who is currently of Peterborough, plays left back in the way that most left backs play at left back, more of a left wing back, happy to bomb on down the wing, effectively junior Firpo-y, but does a lot more of the defensive stuff as well, a little bit above. And I really, really like the look of this guy. Last season in League One, he got himself 12 goals and 17 assists, which is insane for a left back. Those are numbers that you would expect from a winger. In fact, it's better goal scoring and assists than Jorginho Rutter, and think how good Jorginho Rutter was last season for us. In addition to that, he's not sort of an aging left back that's coming to the end of his tenure in League One. He's 22, but mentally he's very, very mature. At the age of 21, he captained against us in the FA Cup, and let's be honest, we did win that match, but at the same time, you can't really stop it when Patrick Bamford is scoring a Puskas award-winning goal. It was insanity, and opinions from absolutely everyone, Peterborough fans, everybody, are that he will go all the way to the top. Without a doubt, he will find himself in the Premier League. He might find himself in England squads. And ideally, he will do that at Leeds United as part of this Leeds United squad that is going to be pushing for promotion this season. And I think if we sign him, we're in with a good chance, but I will get to that in a little bit more detail later on. But first, we need to have a little bit of an interlude about Chris Wilder's rising blood pressure. And I'm doing this because I find this deeply funny. And what is being a football fan if you can't find other people's misery genuinely hilarious from time to time, especially when it's Chris Wilder? Like, he's the ham sandwich man. The fact that you can get fury out of a ham sandwich means that you've got to keep on focusing. You've got to keep getting that fury up. You need to keep in mind that last week, Jayden Bogle was, in my opinion, probably going to be the best right back in the Championship next season. And he lost the best right back in the league to Leeds United, which is a shame for him, not for us. I'm very happy with it, because he's someone that can go up and down that right wing and cause chaos for any opponent. Can also cut inside, score a couple of goals. Fantastic player. And now he will have, at the very start of the week, been incredibly confident about retaining Harrison Burrows and keeping him at the club after signing him, and maybe they can grow with him. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Harrison Burrows only has 1 year left on his contract at Peterborough. So he thought it was an easy signing, but now he is set to lose what would be the best young left-back in the league to Leeds United as well. And none of this is what he needs during a rebuild. None of this is what he needs when he's going into the season with a points deduction. But for us, it's very, very funny. Also had a little bit of a dive into what exactly it means for Leeds United, because I think he's the perfect addition to our squad, both now and for the long term, because it is a perfect long-term thinking move. First, he can start the season behind Junior Firpo and come on as needed. If Firpo gets a knock or something, you can sub him in, because they have very, very similar profiles. They play in almost identical ways. They're very creative players that wouldn't work well alongside each other, but are the perfect sort of replacements. They're the same shape peg to go in that hole. But as he develops, he can pick up more and more minutes and starts. And we need to remember that Junior Firpo has 12 months left on his contract. If he does decide to let that expire in January, then we can just sort of give Burrows more and more minutes, because he tore up League One. He did reasonably well in the Championship at the very least, especially when he's been coached well and has had a little bit of time to get up to speed, which that first 6 months can be. And ultimately, it limits the threat of a Firpo contract extension, because it means that we've got a ready-built replacement in place, because we've been working on him for an entire season. That is why Harrison Burrows is perfect. He can grow in level as Leeds United get better and better, and if we get promoted, then maybe he'll be ready for the Premier League by the time we do that. Maybe he can do the same thing as Leif Davis did down at Ipswich, where he has just continued to improve as the quality of opponent has gone up and just sort of become this monster of a left-back. Also, not too expensive. Signed from a League One club, 1 year left on his contract. That can't be more than £3 to £5 million, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the numbers, I'll admit, but it's not going to be tons, which is very, very nice. And the ultimate question that everyone is going to be asking is it a good move? And whilst normally there's some question around these, normally there's drawbacks on this one, this is genuinely a spectacular signing if we can get it done, because of what he's done in the past at a level just one below ours, and what he can do in the future. What everyone has been saying about what his future looks like. He is an excellent footballer. And he has a decision to make in the coming days as to whether he goes to South Yorkshire or West Yorkshire, or maybe other clubs if they have also bid for him. And we have to hope that our offer is better than theirs. We have to hope that we are offering a decent amount of minutes, decent enough wage, decent enough plans for his development to get him where he wants to be, as well as where we want him to be. Because if we sign Burrows, this league will get way easier. We saw how well we played when Firpo was playing in the second half of last season, because he contributed so much to that attack. Now imagine that, but younger, adds to the sort of domestic part of our squad registration, and genuinely has a very, very high ceiling. Be incredibly happy if we're able to sign Harrison Burrows. But that's all what I think. So, as always, I kind of want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below whether or not you think we should be signing Harrison Burrows. How funny do you think Chris Wilder's various breakdowns are going to be this season? And ultimately, how are you feeling about the season so far? We've signed Bogle. We're potentially working on Harrison Burrows. There's other stuff going on in the background, so you never know how that's going to go. I'm always really interested to see. Like the video, subscribe. You could even become a channel member. That's just 99p, and all of that goes to Prostate Cancer UK. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you later. Ta-ra.